In other news, the creator of The Walking Dead, Robert Kirkman, was doing a Q&A recently, and he was asked about Daryl Dixon, one of, if probably the most popular character on the TV show, and they asked him about his ambiguous sexual orientation. We've never seen him hook up with a chick on the show. There was that fleeting romance with Carol that
was weird.
It never really happened.
Yeah,
it was strange.
You knew she was like a slut,
right? But I don't know. Actually, I agree, but I don't really think that's the.
Lori was the slut, not Carol.
The older one. I always thought it was just weird because Daryl kind of. I mean, even though Norman Reedus is like 60. In the show, Daryl Dixon seems like he's in his like mid-20s to early 30s.
Yeah, I would say in his 30s.
And Carol looks like she's at least in her 50s.
Yeah, I'd say upper 50s.
Strange romance, and they kind of just dropped it in the show. And then for anybody who's not caught up, spoiler alert.
Oops, that's me.
That's me too.
Okay, well it's not a big thing.
Okay.
There's this. They're kind of leading to Daryl and the little blonde girl, the younger sister
the one that sings all the time.
Yeah, her.
Yeah.
It's kind of like this strange.
Really?
Big brother, little sister thing.
But a little more than that.
Ooh.
Like he looks at it like a big brother, little sister relationship, and she kind of like
wants to fuck him,
basically. So they kind of allude to it, but they don't really do much with it because of reasons I'm not going to say.
Okay.
Just because if you're listening to this and you haven't caught up, which you have, or which you should have, doesn't matter. The original point of this was the fact that somebody asked Robert Kirkman about Daryl Dixon's sexual orientation, and Robert Kirkman basically answered, it doesn't really matter. Like, if we want to do that, we will do that. If we don't, we don't. For the record, AMC is fine with it if we do that. So, we'll just have to wait and see. So, Robert Kirkman's basically saying, what difference does it make? If we do it, we're going to do it. Yeah. And if we don't, we don't. And it brings up a good thing.
You think people would stop liking him as
much?
Well,
that's kind of the point, though.
That's bad.
I saw some people saying that like there's like this homosexual agenda that Hollywood has, and it kind of sounds like a conspiracy theory. But when you remove it from that hatred and you kind of examine it from a real perspective and say, yeah, they do have. There are a lot of gay characters that they're kind of putting into these shows, right. And there's a lot of like there is a focus towards it, towards more acceptance by maybe putting it in your face more. I'm not saying that I believe that. I'm just saying that if you analyze these things from a realistic perspective and not try to be so fucking hateful about it and just say, oh, they got the gays are taking over TV.
Objectively.
If you remove that and you look at it objectively, there is something interesting to that. But on the same note, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't fucking matter. Right. And it shouldn't. His orientation, it shouldn't take away from his character, but it also shouldn't add to his character. I think these writers are using sexual orientation to make a character more interesting. Well,
they might do the whole Omar thing with him.
Right, but that was okay. First of all, that was 2002. So it was kind of groundbreaking to do that with a character.
Omar from The Wire, if anybody's wondering.
Right.
Yeah, okay, sorry, yeah, Omar from The Wire.
And it was realistic, They made it very realistic.
It was almost beside the point that he was gay.
Right, and that's the way, and that's what you're referring to, is by making it just a normal part of his character.
Right.
And they could do that with Daryl.
The thing that they did with Omar that they haven't done with Daryl is actually show that he's gay early on in the season. And right now we're like how many seasons in, and they haven't said it.
I was just about to say that.
It shouldn't be an M. Night Shyamalan, like, surprise, he's gay.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, 5 seasons in, and then all of a sudden he's gay.
Right.
Like, he's had multiple opportunities with women and men. There have been plenty of men and women surrounding this guy. Yeah. And now all of a sudden, just because like they just decide he's going to be gay. And that's what I'm saying. They use that to make a character more interesting, and it shouldn't do that. That shouldn't make a person more interesting because they like the same sex. It doesn't.
Do you think like that would actually shoot down Norman Reedus's like popularity?
I don't think so. Not Norman Reedus, because
I think people would be so petty that that's I can legitimately say that's probably his biggest character that he's ever done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
no question.
That defines him.
Yeah.
Who's Norman Reedus? Oh, Daryl Dixon.
Right.
Yeah.
If he was gay, I think like if Daryl Dixon was gay, I think people who are petty on like the macho Daryl Dixon would start to not like him. Like,
Absolutely.
But his fan base is made up of a lot of women.
Oh yeah. Well, here's the thing. If you think about what the fan base of Walking Dead is, it's the masses.
Yeah.
And honestly, as a whole, the masses are not going to accept Daryl Dixon as a gay character.
like a bunch of zombies.
They're a bunch of zombies. That's what I'm saying. And
Sheeple.
Sheeple. As a whole, I don't think these people are ready for Daryl Dixon to be a gay character to begin with. Even if they set it up well throughout the entire thing. I don't think he is, by the way. I think that Robert Kirkman actually took that question in the best possible way he could and said, screw you guys for even asking that. But if he was, it doesn't matter.
Right.
This is a character. This is the person that we're trying to make this be. And not to mention, as three straight guys, since we're not, homosexual people, we can't really talk to that experience. So we don't really know how to define that character, but we know how to define them as a human being.
What do you mean, like a gay character, period, or Daryl Dixon as a gay character?
Both.
I don't understand. Like, why are you like? How are you relating that to the character of Daryl Dixon? Like, if Daryl Dixon is gay, are we still not able to relate to him?
No.
Does him being gay make him not relatable?
It surpasses that because we're relating to him as a human being. But I'm saying we can't really speak to, like, oh, well, I feel this way about gay people being in media, like Marco started this entire conversation off with.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
We can't talk about, like, I feel like they're trying to put this, this homosexual agenda in our face because
if one of us was gay, we would have a first-hand experience of what it would feel like to see more gay characters in TV shows.
Right.
Right now, it just seems like there's just more gay characters, but me as being a someone who's mixed, there's not a lot of mixed people in TV shows, and it's
I don't understand it. Because you're mixed, you would watch more mixed characters?
No. It's just that character would be, I guess, more attractive to me. To see somebody who is like myself, they would be more relatable.
The point that I'm trying to make out of all this is that we can only react to things if we're sort of in that situation. So if I were black and I were to see black characters on TV, and you were to say, I think there's an agenda to get more black people on TV, only I would really know if that character is, there to pander, I guess, to a black audience, or if they're there just because they like match the role and this is a good thing for society.
I think if you're intelligent enough, you can decide that on your own.
It was clear in the first couple seasons, T-Bone was just there to pander to the black audience.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think it's mostly your intelligence, and as far as how you watch the show.
Yeah, perception is reality, bruh.
Right.
But I think it'd be interesting to hear the side of somebody that is of that minority, to see how they feel about that, because we can say everything we want to about there being too many gay characters in TV.
But what you're saying is just like it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter like if the TV we watch shouldn't be so different to someone who is gay if there is a gay character in
right.
there.
But I'm saying it would be interesting to see their side of it. How do they feel about it? How do they feel about so many gay characters being on TV now?
Or still the lack of gay characters.
Or lack of. Do they feel like the characters are true to the gay experience? Do they feel like these are like actual well-written characters? Or is it just there to, like you were saying, pander to people like T-Dog?
Right, there was, I don't know if you guys ever heard about that movie.
T-Dog or T-Bone?
T-Dog.
T-Dog.
T-Dog?
T-Dog.
T-Dog. Sorry.
There was a movie that came out a year ago called Blue is the Warmest Color. Did you guys hear about this?
It's on Netflix.
Yes, it is. Basically, it's about a love story between two women. they're like 15 and 16 or something like that, and it's supposed to be like a realistic portrayal of a relationship between two women in like adolescence and like how they deal with their sexual orientation and things like that. But there was, there's the controversy started because there's like a 10-minute sex scene that's supposed to be really graphic or whatever. But they had this article in the Huffington Post when the movie came out. They had real lesbians watch the movie, the scene specifically, and asked them how realistic it was of a portrayal of a lesbian relationship. And they were like, it was awful.
Fucking bullshit.
It looked like porn, basically.
Yeah.
And they were like, that's not how women have sex. That's how you pander to men. That is how you elicit a response from men. That's not how women don't. And it's kind of the same thing. Like they still make things to the majority. So a gay character is not there to entertain gay people as much as he is there to be different from the rest of the cast and say this is the special character now.
It's added for spice.
Right.
Still.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
So if they were to make Daryl gay now, he would be gay just to say now we have a gay character on the show. As opposed to having him being a realistic portrayal of a homosexual man, which is what Omar was.
Right. And again, now that you say that, like, that's the only reason they would come out with him being gay.
Right. And that's the only another reason I forgot to bring this up. There's you read the comics, but I don't know if do you read them? I don't read them. There's a character Jesus who is actually gay and apparently like they've taken cues from Jesus from the comic book and like they've used some of those personality traits and put them into Daryl, and that's why the person asked that, because they were like, you didn't put Jesus in the show, but you put Daryl in, but Daryl's kind of like Jesus. Could he be gay like Jesus? And that's where Robert Kirkman was like, it wouldn't matter because, blah, 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 like what we were already saying. But that's kind of the basis, and I guess I should have started with that. But that's kind of the basis of where the person was coming from, like why,
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It's a very interesting place in society that we're at right now, because hopefully in the future this won't even be a conversation. I think that's where we need to get to in society, but... That's
the bottom line, is like there shouldn't be an agenda if there is one. I don't believe there is one, but there shouldn't be one.
Right.
This shouldn't even be a topic. This should just like, but the problem is what we were saying. Like if they, it's artificial if all of a sudden he comes out the closet next season.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, is these characters aren't organic characters. They're created to elicit a response from us, good or bad. That's what they're there for, and that's the problem. These characters, they're not real.
Right.
And when we know they're not real, when they do shit like this.
It can't be used for shock. If it's used for shock value, then it's a slap in the face of all gay people, really.
Right.
So, yeah.
Daryl Dixon's actually black.
He just rubs it off. Man. Well, yeah, I guess we'll see. Season 5? Season 6? It's 5. It's
Season 5.
Right. So when they come back to TV...
It's still only on season 5?
I think so.
I could totally catch up if I wanted.
I think so. When it comes back to TV and Daryl Dixon has like a rainbow-colored bandana on next season, he somehow found it. I was just about to say something very spoilery. Never mind. Yeah, then we'll know.
Okay.
If he loses his bandana, I guess. Thanks,
No.
Mark. He loses his rainbow bandana.
Anyway.
And his Lisa Frank notebook.